Hello everyone and welcome to Nervous Nessie. This is the second video in my money saving series where we talk about how to save money in your day-to-day life that you can use towards travel. And today I wanted to talk about the second question that you should ask yourself before you buy something, and that is, can I rent or borrow it? This first item we kind of talked about in the free video, and that is textbooks. Textbooks are expensive, and if you can get a textbook for free, that's great. But a lot of times you can't. There are plenty of websites where you can rent a textbook, and Amazon is one of those websites. When you go on there, you have the option to buy, but you also have a heavily discounted option to rent. The textbook you can only keep during the course of your class, and then when the class is over with, you return the book back to Amazon. But there are other websites that do this as well. So before you spend a fortune on a textbook, look and see if you can rent it. And if you can't rent it, see if you can borrow a textbook from someone else. The next item that you want to see if you can rent or borrow is travel supplies. Maybe you don't have a suitcase. You never really traveled before. Or let's say the suitcase that you do have is kind of old and you're wondering if it's going to make it through your trip. Then you can either rent or borrow one. Look online and see if there's options where you can rent, or ask friends and family members if you can borrow their suitcase. The same thing goes for other travel supplies. This may be packing cubes, or it could be toiletry containers, or any kind of adapters or anything else you may need for travel. This also includes camping supplies. Maybe you're doing a road trip and you're going to be camping somewhere. Ask friends and family members if they already have camping supplies that you can use. The next way that you can save money is if you are in a big city, don't own a car. A car is a huge chunk of your income. Whether it is having to make monthly payments on a car, whether that is to lease the car or own the car, or if let's say you do own a car, you're probably going to have to make repairs to the car, you have to pay for gas, and you have to pay for car insurance. All of that adds up. So if you live in a big city, then try to not own a car. Instead, either do public transit or walk. And then if you need to use a car, maybe you need to go grocery shopping, you could borrow a friend's car, or you could rent one, or do a rideshare service, which is a smaller fee than a huge car payment, or even just your car insurance on a car you own. Another thing that you can rent is movies. We used to have Blockbuster. I loved Blockbuster. There's just something about going to Blockbuster and renting a movie, just so satisfying. Then we went to the digital age where we had the Redbox and you could rent a movie that way. And now both of those are sadly gone. I think Redbox is gone. But if you want to rent a movie, you can get onto one of the streaming services and rent it that way. It's a lot cheaper to rent the movie than buying it. Now, of course, if you are a huge fan of maybe a specific actor or a genre, or it's a series of movies and you know you love them and you want to officially buy it, then of course buy it. It's better than renting it multiple times. But if it's just a movie you're interested in watching, just rent it instead of buy it. Another thing that you can rent is clothes, especially for special occasion clothes. Maybe you have a wedding to go to and you're supposed to wear a tux or a really formal dress, and those can get really expensive. Don't buy it, just go out and rent it. Or Again, back to the free video, ask around to friends and family and see if they have one you can borrow for free. Let's think outside the box for a second. What is something else that can cost a lot of money that you could borrow and save money on? I think of cooking tools. That's right, cooking tools. Things that you buy in your kitchen can be pretty expensive. A really nice blender could run you several $100s, especially all of your small appliances or really nice pots and pans. Those can get really, really pricey really fast. So if, let's say, you are needing to cook a special type of meal and you need a blender for it, but you don't own a blender, ask friends or family members or even neighbors, hey, can I borrow your blender? I have a certain recipe that requires one and I don't want to go and buy a blender just so I can cook this one thing. There are plenty of items that you can rent online. Think outside the box. Do a search online and see if you can rent it instead of buying it. This could be things like tools. Maybe you have a special project you need to work on. You can rent tools from your local home building store, whichever one is closest to you. You can also rent out party supplies. Instead of having to buy the supplies, just rent them out because you're not going to want to keep it once the party's over with. You can also rent bicycles. Again, if you want to go and maybe instead of walking to work or taking public transit, you could ride a bicycle to work one day. Rent the bicycle. It's still cheaper than driving your car. You can also rent out sporting equipment. This could be maybe you decide to do a co-ed league for a season and you don't want to buy all of the equipment that you're going to need, which I recently did a co-ed league and let me tell you, I dropped a couple $100s on my equipment. Granted, I intend on continuing with the league, but if you're just doing it for fun to try it out, rent your equipment instead. The same thing goes for camping equipment. If you are going on a trip where you're going to be camping, try renting the equipment. Tents, sleeping bags, lanterns, everything that you could possibly think of can be rented out. And maybe you have a special occasion coming up and you want to take some really nice pictures or videos. You can rent camera and video equipment as well. Like we talked about in the first video, try to get items for free. But if you can't get them for free, try to rent or borrow them instead. I hope that the tips I gave in this video helps you think outside the box of ways that you can rent items or borrow items instead of spending your hard-earned money on something that you may only need once or you might not really like. If you like this video, then give me a thumbs up. If you want to know when the third video in this series comes out, then subscribe. And I look forward to seeing everyone in the next video. Bye!